Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, October 13th, 2016. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Lawyer K. Bacchus Batiste says that she is determined to get answers about the citizenship status of Member of Parliament for Central Leeward, Sir Louis Straker. Bacchus Batiste told SVG-TV News earlier today that she is dumbfounded that Sir Louis is attacking her when she is simply asking the question that he should answer to the people he represents. She outlined that she is in consultation with her client about the next step to be taken after the 7-day period they have given to Sir Louis to present proof of his citizenship has expired.
We are absolutely pursuing the court matter. I am just waiting on my clients who are supposed to bring me some additional information, and then we would be pursuing it. There is no doubt about it. I have heard the comments that Mr. Louis has been making. I was out of state, but I heard the comments, and I think they're somewhat arrogant because I'm not... He seemed to be attacking me, which is ridiculous because I'm just doing a job. And on behalf of my clients, I intend to take all legal steps that are necessary. As I have said, we will be filing the particular documents as soon as I, have gathered the other information I'm asking for, which would soon be forthcoming.
Bacchus Batiste reiterated that Sir Louis must answer to the people and that her team has plans to hold a media conference to outline the next step to be taken.
I think we would be doing a press conference sometime next week, Divi, so I will keep the general public informed that that is concerned. This is a matter that concerns the people of Central Leeward. He says he's the elected representative and he owes them a duty. I think it's their legitimate right to ask him these questions, and I'm really appalled at how dismissive he was of these people. So, as I said, sometime soon I would be following up with my action, as promised.
Go right ahead. I will meet you in court. This is what Member of Parliament for Central Leeward, Sir Louis Straker, has to say about any legal action to be taken against him in an effort to determine the status of his citizenship. Sir Louis, who is the 5-time elected MP for Central Leeward, told SVG-TV News in a telephone interview earlier today that he has no time to waste.
Those who have interest in pursuing this matter to go right ahead. I am the legally representative of Central Leeward, and I have been elected by the people on 5 occasions. I speak for the people of Central Leeward. Miss K. Bacchus Brown or Ben Exeter, neither of them speaks for the people of Central Leeward. I am the legally elected member of the constituency of Central Leeward, and the people have been telling me, I've gotten a lot of calls telling me to ignore them and just pursue the job they have elected me to do. So that is the course I will follow. I have no time to waste with foolish people. So let them go ahead and pursue the matter in court, and I would meet them in court.
Sir Louis says neither Bacchus Batiste nor the candidate for the opposition, Benjamin Exeter, represent the people of Central Leeward, and that he has already sought legal counsel to handle the matter.
As I have said before, I do not think there is any court of law that would negate or nullify the mandate given to me by the people. I don't know who either Miss K. Bacchus or Ben Exeter speak for. I don't know who elect them, the people of Central Leeward, that they say they are acting on behalf of the people. I am the only legally elected member for Central Leeward, and the people have asked me, stay there and do what we have elected you to do, and don't be distracted by people who are seeking publicity or people who want to make a fool of themselves. And that is the course I will follow until I have to make, I think the time is appropriate for me to make a response to them, probably in court.
In other news, General Secretary of the ruling Unity Labour Party, Julian Francis, is slamming the report made by engineer Glenford Stewart of Stewart Engineering Limited as nothing but crap. On his weekly radio program on Tuesday, Francis said that he is aware of what is needed for the completion of the Argyle International Airport, as he has attended board meetings of the International Airport Development Company, the IADC. He said Stewart is lacking credibility as he is a former member of parliament under the NDP administration.
What Glenford is writing is a lot of crap. C-R-A-P. Because the board meeting I've been at today is the airport board meeting.
Okay.
From 9:30 this morning till after 2 this afternoon. Okay? So I have in my hand where we are with every single thing that need to be done. From the nail and the screw that have to go in the hinge on the gate to whatever else is to be done at the airport. So I am not guided by Glenford Stewart. They have tried and they will continue to try. Well, Glenford Stewart has now joined the gang because he has done many. If Mr. Eustace wants an authority on which to speak, surely he should not be using Glenford. Yeah? Credibility. Glenford Stewart was a minister and a parliamentary representative of the NDP. Glenford Stewart was at the town hall meeting of Arnim Eustace in New York.
Francis alleges that Stewart wants to take over the project and has been doing things to delay the air facility project.
That he has done things to delay the completion of matters with regards to ECA at the airport. Glenford's whole prediction on this airport is that NDP will finish it and Glenford Stewart will get the project to finish it. That's Glenford's preoccupation with the airport, because you'll hear other statements that he making there about how we bring non-Vincentians to build the airport when Vincentians could build it. Glenford's whole preoccupation in this thing and what he's upset about with the Argyle International Airport, and I will come to that because he get work out there, and I will deal with that just now. So he figuring when NDP win, as he was saying, he said in this clip, they're going to finish it. Glenford expect that Glenford is a man will get the work.
The U.S. Embassy in Barbados is taking a firm stance to combat climate change by equipping persons here with the necessary skills needed. This as the embassy, with the assistance of research scientist Dr. Gillian Browser, today held their 3-island program. Speaking with Deputy Public Affairs Officer Jeff Barras, he said climate change has many negative impacts throughout the region, including some vital sectors. He noted that it is for this very reason why the workshop is targeted at persons from several sectors and backgrounds who, according to him, will be able to put their observations into scientific methods in an effort to collect data that will be useful to combat climate change. The public affairs officer added that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is the ideal place for a program of such nature.
St. Vincent's is very susceptible, of course, to climate change impacts, but also I think St. Vincent has a remarkable environment that is basically the driver of the tourism industry here. So you have a lot of people who are dependent upon the preservation of the environment for their livelihood. So that's a big part of why the embassy wanted to do the program here.
And the big issue of doing it here is that small islands are going to be much more susceptible to the change of the climate change. So if you look at sort of acceleration, who's being hit right now is the small island states. So anytime you can get the small island states to be participatory and be able to look at the data, help collect the data that impacts those islands.
Meantime, research scientist at the Colorado State University, Dr. Gillian Browser, said that the main purpose of the program is to equip persons with the necessary skills to look at climate change using everyday devices. She added that it is essentially a marriage between modern technology and observation.
I think what's new here is that, and it's new for a lot of scientists, it's new for a lot of people in the ecology field, is that everyone can be a scientific observer because you have the power. Cell phones are quite powerful devices. They have position, they have time, they have accuracy. You can look at species, you can put it up to a cloud, and a student from St. Lucia can look at data from a student from Colorado at the same time on the same species. So understanding those differences now provides a citizen a way to participate in science. So I think a lot of us emerging with the cell phone technology. So because cell phones now provide a tool that we can actually use, and we can use a large data set. So for scientists, big data is the thing that we're interested in. How can we look at a pattern across time? So I think with the evolution of the cell phone, and the more powerful the cameras on the cell phones get, and the ability for a phone to always have its position, it knows where it is. So that's part of a safety issue, but it also allows us now to know where your observation is and when was the observation taken.
Dr. Bowser said while the program is targeted at the Caribbean region, it is also being executed on an international level. She further stressed that this is just another way of getting students to consider their future career. The research scientists also emphasized the need for persons to learn how to adapt to climate change and be educated on the impacts it can have on the health sector as well as the economy. Meantime, Deputy Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Barbados, Jeff Barras, said there are plans in the pipelines to host more programs of similar interest here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Well, we always try to be as equitable as possible, I guess, in our programming. U.S. Embassy in Bridgetown covers 7 countries, so it's not possible for us to always be on the ground in all of those countries, but we try to do our best to move around and offer programming throughout the region as we can. So yeah, there will definitely be more programs similar to this coming to St. Vincent in the future.
Celebrating 38 years of providing an avenue for students at the primary, secondary, and now the early childhood levels to develop a habit for saving, the school cooperative saving program continues to be of benefit to hundreds of students across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Some of these students were earlier today awarded for their efforts in the 2015-2016 period at a ceremony held by the Cooperative Division in the Ministry of National Mobilization. SVG-TV's Nikita Tony was at the award ceremony and files this report.
Recognition of students and teacher guides at early childhood, primary and secondary schools across St. Vincent and the Grenadines who continue to significantly contribute to the school cooperative thrift program. The Ministry of National Mobilization, through its cooperative division today, Thursday, October 13, 2016, held its 2016 National School Cooperative Award ceremony at the Peace Memorial Hall. Commending the contribution of all students, schools, various credit unions, and the cooperative division, Registrar of Cooperative Societies Cecil Jackson noted that the school cooperative thrift program continues to flourish and be of benefit to not only students but the overall Vincentian economy.
It's a very noble program, and I encourage the students in the various schools. There are about 90 schools now, both secondary and primary, and in addition to that, there are about 5 preschools within the program. Within 9 months of the program, entering the program, VinSave was able to save $8,920.55, and that indeed is a significant achievement.
Pointing out that school cooperatives serve as a platform for youth entrepreneurship and leadership, President of the SVG Cooperative League, Dwight Lewis, the support of his organization in ensuring that the program continues.
I know our credit unions have been partnering with the school cooperatives, and many of them have actually adopted several school cooperatives.
Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Deborah Charles, expressed her ministry's elation to be on board with such a program which not only encouraged students to save their money, but also how they can safeguard their future.
Responsibility of taking financial burden of your child or children is not that of the government, it's not that of the politician, it's not that of the policymaker, it is your responsibility as a parent. And today, I am happy that many of our parents have seen it fit to give their children that opportunity, or to give themselves as parents the opportunity so that they can have their children shine.
Highlighting that 85% of the program's funds comes through the saving of primary school students, Minister of National Mobilization Frederick Stevenson urged all students, especially at the secondary level, to be active savers.
There are currently over 11,000 students, both in the primary and secondary schools throughout the country, who are actively involved in the school's cooperative thrift program. For the years 2015 to 2016, savings in this program have increased by over $260,000 compared with the 2014-2015 period, when it was just about $200,000. And a salute would have said you have to clap for that.
The top primary saver went to Adrian Messiah Jr. of the Georgetown Government School, who also copped the 2016 National Saver Award, while Shante De Silva of the Bishop's College, Kingston, was adjudged the top secondary saver. And this year's National School Society Award went to the Georgetown Government School. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
President of the Teachers Union, Oswald Robinson, who in a recent interview with SVG-TV News highlighted that the union faces a number of problems and urged the government to put more effort into improving the status of teachers.
We need to respect teachers. We need to care for them. We need to ensure that the working conditions of teachers are of a good quality, of a good standard. We have issues now related to health and safety of teachers. And the same UNESCO document spoke to the issue of safe and healthy schools for teachers. Because if the schools are not safe, if they are not healthy, they have implication on your morale, your status. People judge you by the quality of your workplace. Okay, and that is critical.
In reference to the theme for World Teachers' Day this year, valuing teachers, improving their status, Robinson said if the status of teachers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is to be improved, more attention also needs to be paid to the salaries they receive.
I think it is quite fitting, especially in this age, this era, that we need to pay close attention to the value that we place on teachers. There are many persons today who are moving out of colleges and universities, and they are entering into other professions which are, in my mind, they consider more prestigious, especially because of the salaries which they receive. The same UNESCO ILO document 1966, which speaks to the issue of recommendation concerning the status of teachers. It spoke to the issue of salaries, and it is making a very important point that the salaries of teachers must itself reflect the value that the society places on teaching and on teachers, because teachers have a very important role to play in the society.
The sense of diaspora has fueled the processes of identity formation in the Garifuna community. That's according to history professor and panelist at the 3rd International Garifuna Conference held here, Dr. Gavi Denny, in his presentation on the topic Chateau's Legacy, Writing the History of Reparations, pointed out that the rhetoric of reparations continue to develop and change. Denny noted that diaspora Garifuna communities, especially in Central America, continue to hold one of their ancestral memories and customs, but still yearn for certain linkages to be restored.
The Garifuna did not necessarily consider themselves to be part of the African diaspora, though they do so now. And obviously, it seems to me, one of the ways that one can explain that is isolation from broader currents within the African diaspora. And so you have, with this notion of loss, and therefore this desire for restitution, the creation of powerful voices, sense of identity, with the notion that there's something that links them together, and that notion is the point of Genesis, St. Vincent.
Making a reference to the recent debate here on granting Garifuna descendants honorary citizenship, Dr. Denny noted that it is quite clear that the return of the Garifuna people to SVG is based on the restoration of sacred linkages rather than the reclamation of lands.
The Garifuna in the lease, clearly. They have made it theirs. So too we have done in St. Vincent and elsewhere throughout the Americas. We have made the strange land familiar. We have made it ours. In doing so, the claims of reparation as repatriation are much more spiritual, much more psychological, much less, claims of property rights. Whatever pathways the debate in St. Vincent took last year, earlier this year, a philosophy of return based not necessarily on reclamation of land, but on the capacity to return to the spiritual homeland.
The Ministry of Agriculture will tomorrow, Friday, October 14th, host an agricultural exhibition as part of World Food Day observation. The exhibition will commence at 10 in the morning. The day's activities, which will take place at the car park next to the SVG Postal Corporation in Kingston, will feature agricultural produce, arts, crafts, horticulture, as well as cultural package. The cultural program will run from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. The ministry, in collaboration with the Food and Agricultural Organization, the FAO, will join with the rest of the world in observing World Food Day on October 16, 2016, which is being held under the theme, Climate is Changing, Food and Agriculture Must Too.